Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Good to be back yet again for another week of conversation. And listen, guys, before you do anything, smash that like button, subscribe, and share if you're new. I'm 13 away, I think, from 600. So get me there as soon as possible. ASAP. Please, people, hit the like button. And we are going to be talking all things football, the Premier League, Arsenal's exit out of Champions League, bro. And you got Arteta saying some of the weirdest and maddest things. But listen, we're going to talk about that all tonight. And listen, I'm going to stop waffling and get my trusted padre in, Mr. Big D. Let me head him to the stage. Yo, Big D, what you say, brother?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm all good, brother. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah, man. You're well, first of all, before we talk about football, let's talk about you. How are you doing, first of all?
Yeah, man. Doing okay, man. Doing okay. Had an overextended weekend, as you would say. Playing at Golf Invitational down in Surrey. So yeah, man.
How'd you get on with that?
So it was good. Playing four balls. I think there was close to 70 of us, Norm.
What?
Yeah, it was a mad thing. Yeah. Jules and Leon was on it as well. Paul Brown.
Okay.
You know Paul Brown. Yeah, Paul Brown.
Yeah.
Basically, it was a combination of three golf societies. Basically repping one of our guys, Ernie, that is not in the best of health. So It was like a Ernie Invitational, really. And
right.
It was good. Yeah. So the support was absolutely amazing. We played one called Farley Golf Course. I played it about 20 years ago in my telecom days.
Right.
Very hilly, up in the downs, you know what I mean? In the Surrey Downs there. So
you were no buggy, man. You were all pure walking, yeah? Walking vibes.
No, man, I had to run a buggy, man. No.
Oh, you ran the buggy. You ran the buggy.
Yeah, I'll tell you why I ran the buggy, Norm, because I wasn't staying over.
Right, yeah.
And I drove back to the Hamptons that same night. Bring
up Kobe, man. Listen, stay well, brother. Keep well, my friend. Keep well. I know you can't make it on tonight, but I know you're going to be in the chat. We will be talking about your player, your club, Mr. TAA, and the fans booing him. So we will go into that. Understand? And feel free to put your comments in, people. Feel free. Yeah. Sorry, D.
Yeah. So I said I got in minutes to 1. On Sunday morning, you know what I mean? So it was a very long day. And I'd worked Friday night to Saturday morning. Wow. So I'd done a madness, mate. I'd done a madness that weekend, man. Yeah, you know the one. So, but yeah, it was good to see the guys. Some I knew, some I didn't. So it was meeting people for the first time. I played some decent golf, bearing in mind I don't play as often as I should be playing. It wasn't, I think I've definitely played worse. On an off day, so I was happy with the shots I was making.
Where did he come?
I don't know, because I didn't stay for the end of it. But I imagine I'm coming in the 69, 70 somewhere, man. You know what I mean? Because
there were 70 people. What are you talking about? You last. You come last.
72.
Oh, so you
well, there were some bandits as well. So I imagine
you're kind of imitating your club right here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally, yeah. I don't play enough golf, Norm, and it's something my missus been on to me about. She's like, "Bro, get out there, man." The ones that you're working hard.
My clubs are outside in the shed somewhere, mate. So
you know the ones,
again, brother, you know what I mean?
But it's like you can allow work to kind of dictate a lot what you do.
What you saying, man? Big up to you.
So it's just about, you know what? I started knocking the dust off with my neighbor, Rick, because Rick's retired now. My Caucasian neighbor, cool brother. So I just told him, right, you're retired, man. When I text you, put down a cup of tea and a biscuit and let's go.
Let's go.
I've been going out with Rick, so it's been good getting him out. And he's a decent golfer, and he hasn't played in 20 years.
Wow.
And within a couple of weeks, he's striking the ball well. I'll be like, so he's naturally a good golfer. Yeah.
Still at the plantation. He's still at the plantation, man. You know what I mean? You know it goes, man.
This time of night.
Massa. We do it, Massa.
He's a wee sick boss. There was. Listen, let's behave ourselves when we get ourselves cancelled.
No, let's be good. Let's behave. Let's behave ourselves. Let's behave ourselves. But yeah, no, look, me, what I mean, good weekend of myself as well, just chilling. But I was saying that I might have to do. She's insisting, my missus insisting that I do a guard of honor for her. Yeah. And I have to record this. Right, I've got to record it. Then I've got to then we're gonna do a live show. So people look out for that. We will be doing a live show together, and we will be discussing how we did not challenge Liverpool this year. So
well, it has to be you and Anton then, Norm. You and Anton have to do the whole hands up and let it walk.
Well, this is it. Well, that's whether my son wants to do it or not. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we have to do this guard of honor for her. She wants it, and I've got to stay true to my word. You know what I mean? I've got Lee Gunner telling me, I've got to do it. You got to do it now, man. So, you know how it goes. So, yeah. But listen, we're going to go into the show. If anybody else pops on, they pop on. If not, we're still going to make the show go on. And we're going to chat about football. So, you know the usual. Yeah, we're going to just look at the football over the weekend. Some of the clubs, what's kind of stood out for you. The ref watch. Was there anything? I mean, there was an incident with Jackson in the Newcastle game getting sent off, and also the other fella for Aston Villa. What's his name? The defender. What's the defender's name? He broke somebody's jaw. The Bournemouth. He broke the Bournemouth guy's jaw, innit?
Oh, the Mings, was it Mings? Not Mings.
Yeah, Tyrone Mings.
Yeah.
Bro, you see these grey hairs, man, brother? Great brain cells as well, Great brain cells, I can't remember these things.
You know what? I was seeing his face, and I was like, "What's his name again?"
I know. What's his name? Yeah, the guy.
Tyrone. Tyrone Mings. Yeah.
I'm liking that big D. I don't know what she's liking, but she's probably.
Oh, she's liking about me saying you and Anton giving her the answer.
Is that what it is? Yes, Jason, what you're saying, man. Big up to you. Good afternoon. Yeah, this afternoon, probably where you are. If you believe you're in America, is that right, my brother? If you are, big up to you. Big up.
Yeah, man. Big up, Jason.
Mr. Jason Carter. Yeah, man. Big up to you. But yeah, so yeah, there was a situation that happened, and the ref watch, obviously, they were looking at it and said that the Tyrone Mings one wasn't a red card. I don't even know if he even got a yellow. But then the Anthony one was reviewed, and he ended up they went to the TV screen and come back, and he got a red. So he misses the last 2 games of the season. But when you compare the two,
first game of next season as well, isn't it?
If it's a straight, if it's a straight red, I think violent conduct, whatever that is. But but the Tyrone Mings one, he broke the guy's jaw. You know what I mean? But they were saying is because of the action of his arm, you know what I mean. But it's when you see it at first, you think, oh, that looks a little bit dodgy. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, if you look at it now, everyone jumps. The defenders normally jump with their arms anyway. Now, do you over exaggerate how you need to flare your elbows?
He wasn't jumping on this cage of D. He wasn't even jumping. He was like running the ball, and he went like that. So he wasn't even
trying to brush him off. Trying to brush him off, innit? Yeah.
And literally broke his jaw, man. So obviously the Bournemouth manager was not happy about it. Felt that maybe he should have gone off for it, but they didn't deem it as dangerous play. So it is what it is. But it is what it is. But listen, we're gonna, as I said, look at what's been happening over the Premier League weekend and Liverpool. So I've got this as on our menu. Are the Pool fans right to boo Trent Alexander after 20 years of loyal service to Liverpool? And Reuben admits that if this poor form continues under him, he may chuck it in. Do you agree or not? That's to you, D. And if JP comes on into the chat, what do you reckon? And obviously, the last thing on the agenda, as we normally do every week, is the What's Going On Prediction League table. Game week 36. Yeah. We're only 2 games away. And the What's Going On Fantasy Prem, shout out by Mr. Big D. So that is what's on the menu tonight. But first of all, D, I want to kind of go back to last week, Wednesday, when we did our show. And it was kind of like do or die. It was kind of do or die. Yes, people. Yes, Shane, what you saying?
Yeah, Shane, big up yourself.
Shane Guna, Bruce Banana. This guy does some fantastic content. He's moving fast. Lives in Ireland. And yeah, mate, we've been on shows together. We do the Bruce Banana show on a Thursday. On a Monday, we do the hangover, weekend hangover, and then a Friday. We're doing all or nothing. So we's busy, man. We are busy. We are busy. But big up to you, Shane, man. And Shane, we're gonna address Mr. Arteta, the Matrix King. He needs to be addressed. I don't know if you saw my videos, D. I've
been missing in action this week.
If you saw me taking the red pill or the blue pill, you know there's a choice between.
Oh yeah.
I took the blue pill, D, and I had to go to the Matrix, the Arteta Matrix, because there's some nonsense being sprouted out there, bro. There's some nonsense. Everybody could see on my thumbnail. There's a cloud of Mikel Arteta saying that we are the best team in Europe. We're the best team over 2 years. We was the best team over those 2 legs against PSG. D, what are your thoughts? What is this guy on about, brother? Let me just first off say this, yeah? We went to PSG last week, 1-0 down. The first 20 minutes of that game, that's when we needed to put that game to. But we haven't got the striker to do the business, yeah? If you look at the starting lineup, yeah, we had Ray in goal, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Miles Lewis-Skelly, which I felt Arteta put him out to dry. I think he held him out to dry on this one. I feel sorry for Ethan Manreri. And I kind of want to address the Ethan Manreri thing because I was on a stream on Jez, big up to Jez, Arsenal history and more, going to support him. But funny enough, Kenny Ken, big Arsenal supporter, knows his business. And he kind of gave a different angle on it. And I think I was kind of looking at it through emotional eyes. But at the same time, I still feel that the way Arteta, his manager, the way he's treating Ethan Manreri, if I was the agent or if I was Ethan, I'll be going to my agent saying, bro, this is not good. Man is getting no minutes. Man brought on 3 defenders. He brought on what's his name? Ricardo Calafori for Lewis Skelly. Ricardo Calafori hardly features. Leonardo Trossard came on for Martinelli in the 68th minute, and Ben White came on for Uri and Timber. Right? Man is bringing on defenders. Why? Why are you bringing on defensive-minded players? We need to go and try and win this game. Yet again, we fall at the hurdle, Big D. Up front, obviously, we had Moreno. He reverted back to tie because Partey was back for the second leg. Rice, Odegaard. And apparently, Rice was playing with an injury. Now, I've heard he's back in training, but he missed the Liverpool game. But again, it's just our players playing with injuries. And I'll tell you that when we go into the summer, we're going to have players probably sitting under the knife. You know what I mean? Because the way this man runs them into the ground, bro. But listen, we go there, the 20 minutes of where we was on top, we should have put that game in. When I say put the game to bed, I felt that PSG were going to come back into it. But I want to just get your take on my manager, Mikel Arteta, and saying after the game and the way he dealt with that female news or journalist or whatever, because she was just asking simple questions and he was just so abrupt and just death stare. And then she said, I think it's Anita, he said, oh yeah, we was the best team. And the bench told me this. The PSG bench told me this.
Yeah, that's right. That's what he said.
I'm going to play you something in a minute so we can get it word for word. But what are your thoughts, my man? What are your thoughts on how this man is rolling and making this fan base embarrassing? Right? Sky Michael had a go at him as well. Yeah, he had a go at him as well. There's some very sensitive sentinels, I call them, Mikel Arteta agents. Yeah, they're very sensitive when it comes to us. Yeah, because Peter Schmeichel said this guy, he literally is a control freak. Yeah, right. He's a control freak, and he wants to, direct you to the very millisecond. You know what I mean? Kicking every ball rather than letting them go out and do what they needed to do. No. So with all of that said, D, when you heard that the man said he was better in Europe and over the 2 legs, and I was just thinking, this guy really is clutching at straws now. Self-preservation going on here.
Yeah. There is that, Norman. There is also the emotion of the moment, right? We saw Aaron do this at the weekend, and there's a thing where we can say you're talking for talking's sake, but I think with Arteta, he's almost got into his own head, Norm, because I think when you're getting that close, he wouldn't even be gracious for Liverpool's title win. Like you look at Liverpool, and that's like our biggest rival. I wouldn't say it's Arsenal's biggest rival, but it's United's biggest. So for me to give them props is a hard thing, but I gave them props. What did he do? He reverted back to what points Arsenal got over the last 2 seasons that Liverpool didn't get. So in terms, we actually won the title this season based on the points we occurred last season and the season before. And so for me, I think the pressure's finally got to him. I think those comments are mad disrespectful. And actually to say that the opponent's bench told you that, because when they interviewed Luis Enrique, he was like, "What?" He said, "No, my bench didn't say that nonsense to him. Like, what is this? Just lose gracefully."
He
and I
said
think
he's my friend. He said he's my friend. I think he felt sorry for him.
I think he did. But and then Norm, just be gracious in terms of, you play some good football. Now, if you're referring to that, if you're saying we,
so did you just say we play some good football?
Yeah, as in you guys.
Well, Arsenal this season.
If you look over that,
are you talking about overall or in that particular game?
No, I think overall.
Nah, man, we would be terrible this season, bro.
No. If you look at it, right? If you look at the way he set you up more pragmatic, because he felt, he felt last season that you were too loose. Hence why you were losing to teams you were supposed to beat. But I think getting to that final, there was moments in the game where you liked what you guys were doing, but then in the final third, that's where you were lacking. So he can actually say that, but to say you're the best team and you've not got to the final and you've not won a title, it makes him sound deluded. And that's why the fan base will go, "What to this guy here?" Like,
no, but
you didn't complete the mission.
The majority of the fan base, of this Arsenal fan base are backing this man. They're backing this man, right? Yeah, listen.
And I think they have to know.
Jason Carter's discreet because the boring football. He's got to be because when you look at what the football that we was playing last season, I go back to 2022-23. I think this guy's got PTSD. I was discussing this with my mate today, and we were saying that what's happening is like he goes to war, being in a bit of a trauma and everything, and it's like, bro, the man when they come back from war, they have that people that have been in the army have that PTSD. Wake up, man! Like shooting, bombing going around. That's how he is. And he said, right, I'm just going to play it safe. We have dropped 21 points from winning positions. We have drawn. Listen, I know you're going to probably think, well, look, I would rather be in your place because Man United are not exactly doing what they're meant to be doing. We will come onto your team. But we've dropped 21 points from winning positions. We've drawn 13 games, We're 15 points off of Liverpool this season. Yeah, right? He was gracious in saying, well done to Liverpool and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you brought up the fact that he said about, well, if it was over the 2 seasons with the points tally that Liverpool had, we would have won the league. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't you; it was Man City. Yeah, so stop using excuses and going and using excuses and looking at other. I'm fed up of it.
So Jason, I totally hear you on what you've used to
Junior, bro. Big up, bro.
Seeing from Arsenal, especially when everyone's fit. That attack mindedness, because remember last week we spoke about Odegaard or no Shodegaard, depending on how you want to relate to him, right? In 2 seasons ago, you saw the way he was creating and literally scoring and assisting and being that guy. For some reason, for some reason, he's gone away from that. Now, has he been told to go away from that? Has he been told to be a bit more I'm going to say careful with the ball. Like the ball needs to be recycled rather than taking a chance.
Sideways.
Yeah,
Right?
and
Do you know what I mean?
the
Teams
Arsenal
find it
fan
very
base.
easy. We can't break down. As you know, we've been talking about this throughout the season. We're
Yeah.
finding it very difficult to break down mid blocks and low blocks. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Amorim came to the Emirates. Yeah. FA Cup. Yeah. You go down to 10 men. Yeah. The worst Man United side. You're telling me that we're playing decent football. I'm sorry, D. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one, bro.
And when I say decent, I'm talking about in patches, not like what we've seen in previous seasons where it was more free flowing. Because I think maybe around Christmas we're on here, we're talking, and I think I say to you, you mans have gone really pragmatic, regardless of injuries. You're like, that's not the Arsenal. Because if you look at back in the day, Wenger and Fergie, what Man United fans admired about Arsenal was the free-flowing football. But
Yeah,
what United would do is just rough them up.
But we was naive with it, D. That was one thing. We was
Yeah,
naive with
yeah.
it because
And
one thing I could always say with your Man United side, you just said, okay, you have the ball. We would press forward. We lose the ball,
yeah,
and 2 seconds it's
Yeah.
down the other end. Look, how many times has Ray
physical.
Rooney come to the Emirates or come, especially Emirates?
Yeah.
Highbury, we had some good ding dongs there, but Emirates, and we've just been smacked and hit on the break. They knew Fergie knew what to do. He knew what to do.
But I think if you look at it now, and this is probably where your fan base is very split now, because there's still a section of your fan base still backing this guy, saying, "Look where
100.
we were. Look what he's done. He's revolutionized us."
Yeah, that's a talk.
So Jason said to me, "Boring football." I hear where it's coming from because it's not what you want to see, and what I would say is more pragmatic, which can be boring. I think you're more pragmatic in terms of that.
Very robotic. Very robotic.
And this is the other thing. He's put a fear into the players that, for me, and you see it at United as well, they don't really want to express themselves because
they've been
micromanaged.
They've been micromanaged.
Micromanaged, and he takes things personal.
Yeah.
So he'll leave you at the team for 8 weeks with probably no real explanation because of something you did in one game. So now, when you as a fan are saying, "Come on, push the ball forward, be more expansive," they're like, nah. If I try that and lose the ball, man's he's gonna give me the hairdryer treatment at halftime. I'm probably gonna get subbed after 60 minutes, and that's me now for the next month not getting any first team football. I think he's ruined it a little bit. He's gone too far, even with the mimics.
I would say Pep is probably to blame for all of this. Yeah. Very controlling, but Pep knows how to do it. Yeah, he's a master at it. Yeah, remember Pep was at Barcelona and Thierry Henry was there, and Thierry Henry came out and said, "I don't know if you know this." Where
I remember that one.
Pep said, "I want you to hug the touchline." Yeah, I think Henry went on to score the goal. Pep, after he scored the goal, he goes, "Right, you're hooked."
Yeah, something. Yeah,
get off. And then the reason was, and you could understand it because he said, "Because I told you, you need to follow the instructions because that's what Pep is." Yeah. So what if you watch Pep ball? Yeah. After a while, it can get very boring. D. Yeah. They're very efficient but very boring. And this season, especially, we've been on about how robotic the football has been. They've talked about
playing
it
up from the back.
Main media. They've talked about it on loads of streams. We've all spoken about it. Yeah. And we go back to the 90s and the mid 2000s when the football. You just, when I say off the cuff, but you had talent.
It was a joy to watch.
It was a joy to watch. Absolute joy to watch.
Like now, I can be watching football and doing two other things at the same time.
Or falling asleep.
I'm not engaged. I'm not engaged until I hear the crowd make noise. Then I'm back to the screen properly to say what going. Yeah. But it's like this whole playing out from the back, losing the ball, trying to play out from the back, conceding. When you say, every time the ball goes back, the goalkeeper can't put his laces through it and get it up the pitch.
Well,
and put the centre backs under pressure.
All of a sudden, Rare now is playing outside his 18-yard box. And a couple of times, this guy's nearly been lobbed, right? I'm thinking, well, he wasn't doing that the first half of the season. So what is he, being told? And I think it's because, again, Arteta wants more control of the game. So he wants to control the game and make sure that we have control. But the football that I see, it's not good to watch. Last night, we was on. I was in the backstage. It wasn't even a show. I got invited to go into the backstage with Lee Gunner, Matt Southern. Big up to Matt and Lee Gunner. Go and subscribe to them if you know. Shane was on it. Aaron Talks Football was on it. And we went around. We was looking at the football in League On, in the Division 2 in the Spanish League. Oh, bro, I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance, watch Division 2 Spanish football. The tech on there is ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
But do you not find them that a lot of the top Premier League clubs don't always look at technical players?
No, it's all
in a good light. It's all but pace and power.
Yeah,
pace and power over finesse and clinical finishing. Because there's so many teams that are really awful in the final third, and I think Man United are probably one of the top
worst
in terms of the final third and what we do in the final third. You spoke about earlier the inability to break down teams that sit in the middle low block, more in the low block.
Yeah, Roger, what do you say, man? Big Aston Villa fan. What do you say, man?
And you see that, I'm about to say this, Norm. That's the prime example, Grealish. He's ruined Grealish.
Ruined him.
To the man took the drink now.
Roger, would you take Grealish back, or you've not forgiven him for leaving your club? Would you take him back, because absolutely Pep has ruined him? Because for me, I mean, he's coached that talent out of them, and I think Arteta does the same, and that's why I'm worried about talented players. I'm looking at Ethan Nwaneri, I'm looking at Ethan Nwaneri, and I feel sorry for the geezer, right? And
he has to go, Norm.
Leanne, what you saying?
Yes, Leanne, big up, man. He has to go, Norm.
We're just saying, nope, you wouldn't take him back.
You wouldn't take him back.
You wouldn't take him back.
I actually think. You see, with Jack, because there was a point. You remember where England fans were screaming at Southgate to play Jack, give Jack some minutes, and when he got some minutes, he was balling out. And I remember, I'm leaving England to you, man. I'm a Brazil man, but I'm watching the game, right? And I'm like,
Ancelotti is heading your
way. Man, like Don Carlo, I'll tell you what, we need a disciplinarian to come in and just rough up that Brazilian team anyway. So I like that appointment. But I looked at Jack and I'm saying, Jack needs that freedom to get on the ball and run at defenders. And Pep just said, nope. Hold the touchline, get the cross in, recycle it if there's no cross there. That's not his game. So why did you buy him? 100 million, bro. So Roger, you got a nice 100 ends for him, So you can't say no, because the truth is he was a good captain, he was a good servant, and he probably didn't see where Villa was going at the time. I think if he saw the Villa now compared to the Villa then, he probably would have gone to Man City. I think he would have stayed put and be part of the Villa revolution in terms of them being in the mix again and competing in Europe and bringing in some good players as well. So I think maybe Jack dropped the gun, but if a team comes in for 100 million and offers you that, and he probably thought that's 100 million to my boyhood club so that they can reinvest after I've gone, which is not a bad thing. So you could look at it two ways, that he got Villa a lot of money and he just thought, okay, I want to play some Champions League football. Not be funny, he's won 4 titles now in the Champions League. So, and Villa got 100 million for him. So I can't even knock that move. He probably looked at it to say, at this moment in time, Man City is my Real Madrid. I have to go. And you can't knock that. And I think if he went there and won nothing, you'd be like 100 million and he's a 100 million flop. But the truth is he got 4 titles in the Champions League out of it. So even if he leaves now, he hasn't failed. Yes, he may not have been consistent in terms of starting every game, but that's down to Pep. That's how I see it. You look at a player and you say, this is him. I'm not going to change him. I'm just going to have him a bit more disciplined. But Pep changed his game completely to suit Man City. So,
Yeah, so Roger's saying in truth, 100 million did help the Villa, but he had the spark taken out of him, which is absolutely true.
Big time.
So you're saying about is he? What is he on a bit of that now? Is he?
Well,
Yeah.
I think
allegedly. Is that
he
allegedly?
likes to drink allegedly, and whenever I've seen them put stuff of him on social media out and about, he's literally being carried out of places.
Wow.
So I don't think he's happy at City. I don't be surprised if he pushes for a move.
You take him? Would you take him?
I don't know, because I think all that being coached out of him at City, I don't think we're the club to take him in terms of like I would have taken the Jack Grealish that was leaving Villa to go to Man City.
Yeah,
that Jack Grealish. This Jack Grealish, I'm not sure where his head's at now. Unfortunately, like I say, Pep's ruined him. And Pep, you can come for me if you're watching, man. Come for me, man. I'm a big brother. I can angle you. So come and step to me and ask me why you think I'm saying that. I'm saying that because I watched him at Villa and I said, no, Jack is a bad boy. I think they nicknamed him Samurai Jack or something like that. Because this man, when this man cut in and put his lazy for a football, he's scoring that goal.
Yeah.
And you're not, I mean, he went one goal in the season.
That's what I was going to say. You took the words out of my mouth.
One goal.
Period. He didn't score. I mean, I think almost for a whole year and a bit, he didn't score, which is mad. You know what I mean?
And that now, tells you he's not enjoying his football no more. His head's gone.
Yeah.
And for me, like I say, he hasn't failed at City. He walked away with 4 titles. 4 titles in the Champions League. Go somewhere and start enjoying your football again. And maybe that will stop you from doing what you're doing when you're not on the football pitch. You know what I mean? He's a Brummy, yeah.
He's a Brummy.
Always a drink in their hands. Yeah.
But listen, I'm just going back to, because we I want to just go back to the Arteta before we move on to your club.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to play this, and I know Ian, my mate, if he's watching, big up to you, Ian. Man is very he's what I call positive critical to me. You know, he's telling me, you need to do this, you need to do that. Yeah. But Ian, right now, I'm going to do another thing. So I'm going to play it through it. Please accept my apologies from now. Yeah, you're probably going to ring me tomorrow and cuss me, but do I care? No, I don't. Right. Big up to Big Day Bright Exchange. We're saying, right, all the way in Dubai, we say, man, big up to you, big Chelsea supporter. Should United an empty trophy cabinet deserve Champions League? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start that one. Let me start that one. Yeah. I'm going to start. Don't answer it yet. Come back to it.
Yeah, come back to it. Yeah.
I'm starting that one. D, I like that one. I like that one from you, bro. I like that one. But let me just play this here. And so that because I said I do the Arteta conversations called the Matrix Convo, D. And every now if rubbish comes out. So have a listen. Tell me if you can hear this. Yeah, I'm going to play it now.
In this club, as they won it 11 times. He's the captain. So that's the 12th. And let's see if they win it. So 11 times that you have to go down and up. So look in the mirror of somebody like this with that trajectory and learn. You want to be in the sport and you want to be competing and be very close to all the trophies, you better be able to deal with that. Yeah, but you have to deal with that. You see that hunger in their eyes, though? Well, today I see how much they won it because they were in tears. Yeah.
Arsenal have now failed to progress from each of the last 4 major cup semi-finals. So first, the Europa League semi-final defeat to Villarreal in 2021, followed by the League Cup defeat to Liverpool the next season. Then came the 2-legged defeat to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup this season. Before this, defeat to PSG in the Champions League semi-finals.
Obviously, Arsenal have come so close to winning the Premier League for the past 2 seasons, and they could be runners. You could be runners up again this season. Fallen, the semi-final hurdle in terms of the Champions League. Are you worried at all that this squad doesn't quite have what it takes to land that first trophy, or are you confident that you will get there?
Well, it depends. And this is squad or 2 years ago, nobody believed that we could even probably qualify for the Champions League. Not even think that we could finish second or compete the league or have the amount of points that we had that in any other year you are champion. Or have the run and the results and the performances that we have in the Champions League. But at the end, is you need something to lift that trophy with all the work that we do. And disappointment is that it's not going to happen.
But you told TV, you said that there hasn't been a better team in the competition than Arsenal this season. So do you think the best team lost this time?
I think so, especially for 160 minutes. I'm saying that, and they are saying that because they just told me that.
Who did the PSG bench?
Yeah.
Wait for it.
So Arteta saying
Wait for it, see?
were the better team over the 2 legs, and the stats suggest he may
So
have
this is-
a point. Arsenal had significantly more XG and shots, but the PSG boss Luis Enrique disagreed with Arteta's
This is what he thinks of
evaluation
it.
at the time.
Mikel Arteta said when he was sitting where you are that Arsenal were the better team over 2 legs, and what's more, you agree because your bench told him so.
I don't agree at all. Mikel Arteta is a great friend, but I don't agree at all. I think they played in a clever way today, and they get the match to the right moment for them because they play in the way they want and they love to play. But I think in the 2 legs we score more goals than them. In football, it's the most important thing. But I have to say, Arsenal, they did it great. They played a great match, and we suffered a lot. I think it's the match that we suffer the most. Sorry, I think we deserve to get the final. They are a great team as well, but I repeat, we score more goals and we played in a great way the first leg. And the second half, it was a different match, and we could score even more goals.
Big D, what thou sayest?
Yeah, I think he just like I said earlier, he let himself down again, Norm, because he's not being gracious in the loss. Because like Luis Enrique just telling him, you got to score goals to win the game. Oh man, this is savage. Where's the oh my gosh!
You see,
Yeah.
we're always the bridesmaid. Yeah, we're always the bridesmaid. Yeah, never we're all right catching the flowers, man. But when we turn up at that church, man, yeah, and to say I do, we don't do it. Yeah, but we get mocked.
Yeah.
We get mocked. Yeah, this was at the Liverpool game. Okay, we got bullied in the first half. It was a game of 2 halves. We come back. Yeah, but Liverpool pretty much took their foot off the gas, and they've sewn up the league anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah,
but no,
people are getting rattled over this. People are getting rattled.
But even with this though, right? I know it's banter, but someone took the time out to be very creative, and I think these are the things that are rattling Arteta, because I know he saw that. He's probably fuming when he saw that because someone put him in a dress. You know what I mean? Like, and so that, as a man, that's a no-no. Someone paints a mural of you and puts you in a dress holding a bouquet. That's just like, yo, that's mad disrespect. So I know why I know why he would be in his feelings, but at the same time, he has to take a breath, Norm, put the emotions to one side, and realize that the objective of the game is to score goals to win the game, to advance you to wherever you're going.
Big D, sorry, let me just cut in here. He talked about XG. Yeah, listen, I'm tired about XGs and field tilts and this tilt and whatever. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we used to watch football with our eyes. Yeah, nobody talked about field tilt, XG, PXG, PG tips, whatever you want to call it. We didn't talk about that. Yeah, and the thing about it, is he said based on the stats, we was the best team. Not only the stats, best team in Europe, but based on the stats, we should have won. Well, you didn't because you wasn't clinical enough.
But no, it's like having 75% possession of the football and no shots on target. What's the point? What's the point of keeping hold of the football, going sideways, back to the goalkeeper, sideways, back to the goalkeeper, advance it into the final third, kick it back and start again, and there's no shots on goal. And then you look at it and you go, oh yeah, 72% possession. You're like, yeah, but they haven't had a shot on goal in the last 20 minutes. Right. The objective is goals to win the game.
I mean, listen.
So you coach it that way, Norm. He's coaching them to be so conservative with the ball that like you know, like guys are saying, we're boring to watch. And we see it in Man City. There was a game when Man City, you guys went out to 10 men and you guys were defending for your life, and you watched
Yeah,
Man City,
that was but
remember?
Yeah, at City.
And kept recycling the ball, but they were sort of recycling it in the final third.
Mm.
And I thought, I don't know how long Arsenal can hold on. It'd be good if they can hold on. But you sort of knew the goal was going to come. It was going to be a scramble goal. It was a scramble goal.
And you know what, D? Sorry to cut you. They made changes because maybe you was pulling your hair.
They did.
Not to say that you haven't got any hair, but you was pulling out. You know,
pulling out my beard, man, saying, "Oh, I'm going with this."
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
What I'm essentially saying is that you would say, why don't they just bring on Grealish? Yeah, because all they kept doing was recycling the ball. Because I'm talking about Man City.
That's right. Yeah,
they brought and quick. I think it was a quick corner, and the next thing you know, I think it was what's the name that put the ball in the back of the net. I think it might be John Stones. My memory.
Yeah, John Stones' head. I think it was, wasn't it?
Stones,
something like that.
Yeah.
Or on his boot for it. But if you saw how that stat went in Man City's favour, they probably had about 80% of the ball, but they wasn't doing anything with it, Norm.
Yeah.
And this is what Arteta got to realise, that it's okay saying, "Oh, in moments we played the best football." That makes us the best team.
What's he doing? Is it self-preservation?
Yeah, very much so.
Is he? Some people will say he's a narcissist. Some people say he's a very
much so. No,
he's a protagonist. So. You know, it's all about him. Yeah, you know, I can take Kai Havertz and turn this guy into a great striker. Well, you haven't yet. Yeah, because you just wasted £65 million right now.
Here's the other thing, Norm. This new director of football isn't his mate. That's very key. Because he's not my mate, I can't roll up on him and be pally and say, "Listen, man, like, I know you're the director of football, but let me tell you what I want to do." It ain't happening, mate. So I think that's the other thing, where this guy might be looking at him and might have spoken to the board and said, "You know what? You guys like Mikel, hence the extension of the contract, but it's another season empty-handed, and he's talking too much." So let me
be a little bit like your manager. He talks to
exactly, Norm.
But we will come on to him in a minute,
right? And so you look at these managers scrambling and talking and scrambling and talking. You're saying, "Shut up for a second, catch your breath, control your emotions, and think before you speak." Because I think a lot of times if he goes back,
it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
you know,
if he goes back and watches what he said, Norm.
Yeah.
I think if he goes back and watch what he said in so many interviews, he's probably thinking, "I probably shouldn't have said that in the heat of just losing the game."
No, but dude, I think a lot of people saying in the heat of the game, they were just probably saying, "Oh, he was probably quite emotional and that." But the man then did a pre-match press.
Yeah, he doubled down. He doubled down on it.
He doubled down and they said, "What you're saying? 100%." He said, "100%." So
and that is doubling down on. That's setting yourself up to fail, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And Berta's got a lot of his work to cut out. And we when we start talking, when we go into the summer and we start dealing with the transfers, because that's going to be a really interesting period of time when we start looking at who we're going to get and whatnot. And I think Berta has got his work cut out, sorting out the contracts of the players, those that have run down the contracts, they're gonna go, and then he's getting a lot of the dross out the club. Those are on loan to just get them out the club and whatnot.
That's what I'm going to ask you that, though.
Yeah, and then getting the quality players that we need. We're hearing rumors of 300 million war chest. Some are just saying 100 and whatever. So what that simply then says is that we may only have, like, say, 180 million, maybe 200 million to spend. Is that going to be really enough? Yeah, because I think we're looking at a complete, for the amount of players that we need to get, a complete rebuild. Yeah, even though some people say it's not a rebuild, they're saying it's a what was it? Guys, help me out in the chat. What certain top gooners saying it is? Yeah, help me out in the chat. BBK, what they're saying, it's a something. I can't remember what it was, but don't forget he's an architect. Yeah,
trying to what are you trying to do?
He's an architect. Yeah, he's an architect.
Restructure.
It's not even.
But he has no. But you have to. And I'll look at it with my club, and obviously I think you guys are way ahead. I look at my starting lineup, and I probably want 6 to 7 of those guys on the bench as the bench options. That means who's on the bench now? He's nowhere near good enough. And then everyone that comes into the club is a starter. That's the only way we get back to, I'm not even going to say competing. I'm going to say to looking reasonable until we start competing.
Okay.
And so I look at there's so many players that I look at and say, if he stays, he's on the bench. If not, sell him. But if he thinks he's a starter, then go and start somewhere else because you're not good enough for Man United. And I'm sure there's a few players at Arsenal that you would say, you know what, you're okay for the bench, but you're not a starter. So as much as the gulf is big between us, in my opinion, like night and day in terms of what Arsenal is doing in the league and what United is doing in the league. We see the league position doesn't lie. Now, are we that bad as a team? I'm going to say no. That might be a bit arrogant for people. Say he's being arrogant here. I'm saying no. We are not. That squad is not a 16th place squad, but that's where we are.
Yeah.
And so whether you say culture, whether you say mentality of the players, whether you say soft underbelly, whether you say they're earning so much money, where's the motivation anymore?
Yep.
Because that's what I question. I question the money. And I question the shirt numbers. I question I'll be like, what have you done to be wearing a number 10? How did you get number 7? Get out of here. These are prestige numbers for me at Old Trafford. Number 9. How can you be a number 9 and you can't hit the barn door, brother? And the barn door is big.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
This takes us nicely into your segment, yeah. And on Transfer News Live, Reuben Amorim is in extreme danger of getting sacked by Manchester United, regardless of the fact he could potentially win the Europa League. Yeah, he's also come out and saying that if he doesn't feel that, if it still carries on the way it's going, that he may need to walk.
Well, he worded it, Norm.
Yeah,
he worded it in a really strange way, but basically he was saying the club needs to look at everything, which included him. So, what's this? With a Europa League final, smooth over the cracks of a poor season, knowing you'll get Champions League qualification. No, it's not going to smooth over the cracks. What it does, it allows us to build better in the summer. In terms of, and this is my fear as well. Winning this game, getting back in the Champions League, there's certain players that we need to offload that won't want to go because now we're back on the biggest stage of European football is in the Champions League. So they won't want to go, Norm. So like a Luke Shaw, you'd be like, Luke, it's time. He'd be like, no, Champions League football, I ain't going anywhere. He'll even fake an injury to stay in the summer. Because you've seen this as well, where suddenly when we're trying to sell somebody, they're injured. So you can't sell them. It's like, he wasn't injured, but now he's limping. Last game of the season, you're limping about the pitch. You're like, okay. But he's done it, bro. And the fan base see this. So I look at Reuben. I actually think he's had some sort of breakdown as well because he's been very emotional, Norm.
Reuben.
And being very... He was quite dismissive. Me and JP talked about it. The way he was kind of dismissive about the Europa League final because of what went on, the whole West Ham. West Ham ain't beating us in a heartbeat. And he it's like he just said all this stuff emotionally. And I think when he checked himself, because in the next interview, he backpedaled slightly. And he was saying that he wants players, because what he's looking at, you're at Old Trafford, 76,000 people, maybe even 77,000 people, coming out on a sunny day, and you did not show up for work. You know what I mean? And the only person that, in my mind, that showed was Leonard. Leonard showed up for work, and then he got injured.
He's injured now, isn't
he? Yeah, which is, I'm gutted for the kid, because I think in the last 2.5 months, he's been our best defender, bro. The way he reads the game, he's got, like, what I would say to him, hit the gym a little bit in the summer. Don't overdo it. Don't go too bulky. Just hit the gym a little bit. Get your upper body a little bit more tonks that man's is bouncing off you. He can carry the ball. He can win the header. He can tackle. He's 19 years old, Bridget. 19, And so for me, I'm building a defense around Lenny Euro. You know what I mean? So I'm actually gutted that I don't think he's going to make the final, Norm, in terms of
Yeah.
getting fit enough. I don't think,
Right.
which is a shame because we play different football when we have to sit deep with Harry there. And in fact, you know what? And everyone gonna think I'm wild for this take. I'm playing Harry as a number 9 in the final. I'm doing it. I'm just rolling the dice, Norm, because this is £100 million game, Normski.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
It's 100 million in terms of TV revenue and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Now, on paper, everyone's telling me that Tottenham got the better team, so cool. I'll take that. I'm not going to argue, even though they're below us in the league, but they got the better team.
Well, 20 games. 20 was it 20 games lost now? 20 games?
Right,
21?
right. So apparently on paper, only Bruno would get into Tottenham team. So if I'm a coach, this is what I'm telling my players. Apparently only Bruno gets into that Tottenham team. You lot is all waste man. That's what I'm telling them. That's my motivation speech. I don't say anymore. Go win this game. Go get in the Champions League. Now, Bright Exchange. This is what I'm going to say to you. If you win a trophy, are you not a champion? That's what I'm going to say. Leave it at that.
Do you have it, Bright Exchange? Your question has been answered.
If you win the Europa League, the Champions League, the Conference League, the Premier League, are you not a champion? It's called the Champions League. So whether United win it or Tottenham win it, they've just won a trophy. They're a champion of that tournament that they were in. And they've gone now to play in the Champions League. Or if you don't agree with that, go back to calling it the European League. Go back to calling it that. But the truth is, if you win an FA Cup, if you win City might finish top 4. If they go and win the FA Cup, they've just won the FA Cup. They're champions of the FA Cup, which is a tournament that the whole football league plays in, not just the Premier League.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, we deserve it, because if we lose it, then we're not in Europe at all. There's no money to spend. There's no money to spend. There's money
massive.
to spend,
It's absolutely massive.
Right. And so for me, it's a pride thing.
But you kind of getting it's almost like, I don't know. It's hard to sort of how you can kind of quantify what they were saying here, because it's almost like it seems unfair that you guys have been rubbish all season, and then
but we haven't been rubbish in Europe, no. We've got it done when we're supposed to get it done. So the season before we had to qualify for Europa, and we did. Now we get in the Europa, and if we go and win it, then okay, it's because it's Man United. We've got a successful team that nobody wants to see us have anymore. So I guarantee you the whole country will be supporting Tottenham, including Arsenal fans, because they won't want to see United being successful again in a poor season. So success in winning that tournament, not success within the Premier League and being a consistent team, because we have not been that. And I'm okay with that. I'm the first to tell you that I'm turning the TV off. I'm not watching no more of this rest of this game, because I'm seeing. Imagine earning 180 grand a week, and today you don't fancy it. Today, this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, or this Sunday afternoon at 2:15, you don't fancy it at home, when man's working their 9 to 5, paid £55 plus a ticket, but you don't fancy it. The sun's out and you'd rather be home in your shorts and your flip-flops on the barbecue, drinking a few bevies. Nah, man, it's a mad disrespect to the fan base. And so when Reuben loses his head, some of it's on Reuben, because every time I see a starting lineup now, Norm, I call JP and say, bro, you seen the starting lineup? What's he thinking here? Because this is where I would love to have access to Carrington, not to be a busybody, just to sit on the touchline and watch training. And then I can understand the lineup that he picks then. Because I'm saying, oh yeah, they're woeful in training. That's why they're not starting. But I look at the talent, some might say lack of, and I say, this talent, and then you pick this team, and then 9 out of 10 times, he has to change that team to win the game. Because he's admitting that, and so he'll hang it out to an hour, because he's probably saying, oh yeah, the people that play Fantasy League, they're going to crucify me if I pull these men before the hour, because you lose another point or whatever. And he makes the change. Ahmad comes on, Mason Mount comes on, whoever else comes on, and we turn the game around, and you're like, wow, okay, bro. that means your lineup wasn't the right lineup.
So, D, I know. At the end of the day, you're where you are in the league and that. And
Yeah.
obviously now you've got to preserve your players. You've got 2 more games to go. Yeah, I think you've got Chelsea.
Chelsea on Friday.
Yeah.
Then Wednesday is the final, and then Sunday everyone plays game week 38 on Sunday.
Right.
Next Sunday, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Sunday.
So
I can't remember who we're playing that last game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at some of the stats. I mean, listen, Man United's defeat to West Ham leaves them on 39 points with 2 games to
horrendous,
play.
bro.
Right?
Horrendous.
They said here because even if they were to win their final 2 matches, they can finish no higher than 13th. All right, that's 5 places worse off than their previous lowest finish in the Premier League in 8th in 2023-24 season. United's lowest ever points tally for a Premier League season is 58. You're not even going to touch that, bro.
Nowhere near it.
21-22. United are guaranteed to reduce that record by at least 13 points, bro. 13 points, D.
But no, look how long we've been stuck in the 30s. I reckon we've been stuck in the 30s about 7 games, bro. Maybe 7, 8 games we've been stuck in the 30s. And every week I've come on and say, just get
You've not won 2. You've not won 2 games back to back.
All season. Nah.
Whereas Wolves have gone and won 6 games back to back. Big up AFC. What you say, man?
It might even be 7 now for Wolves.
It could well be. Not only that, D. If just say the league was played in terms of 6 games, the last 6 games, you would be relegated.
Yes.
Yeah, you would be sitting in 18th place, 2 places above Southampton and Ipswich. They're the only 2 teams in terms of your points tally. That is ridiculous. That is a sacking offence. Yeah.
But this is the thing, because if just the last 3 or 4 days, just looking on the socials and watching a couple of shows, I'm hearing very, very well supported fan channels say, win or lose the Europa League, it should be gone anyway.
Wow.
And this is where I hear it to a point, right? Reuben clearly agreed to some things in terms of Craig. Totally agree with this. You can't finish 16th, 17th in the league.
They did it all the time. For all the times that they've won where they've not really been doing well, they've never had a bust-up parade going back to when you won your Europa League under Mourinho.
Mourinho, there wasn't a.
No, there wasn't. I don't think you've had any kind of parade.
Yeah, because the mentality is, yes, we've won a European trophy, but it's not really the one we want to win, even though we've gone ahead and won it. So I'm actually okay with the barbecue thing, As long as you don't have Luke Shaw on the grill eating all the burgers, then I'm cool with that. Luke Shaw needs to be the furthest man away from that grill when that grill gets fired up. He needs to be the last in the queue to go get a burger, because you can't stay fit. I mean, this is what annoyed me. I think I said to you last week. The other week when Reuben put the armband on Luke Shaw, I was fuming. I'm like, Reuben, no. I don't care if it's the most senior longevity player on the pitch. His unavailability to stay fit does not warrant him to walk a team out. Now, apparently he was yelling at players and all sorts. Luke Shaw, the audacity. Stop it, brother.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently he lost his mind with some of the players because he got the captain's armband on. Nah, bro. No one respects you. Even if they shake your hand and tell you good morning, Luke. Deep down they say, you know how much money this brother's on? And this brother he's just in the treatment room. Just in the treatment room. And when you think he's fit, oh no, he took another knock in training. What? What do you mean he took another knock in training? I thought he was good to go. Reuben doesn't trust him, bro. And that's why I don't know why he put the captain's armband on him. You put the armband. So I look at Reuben a bit with a side eye as well to say, Reuben, bro, what are you doing? You're better to put the armband on Onana and start him than to do that. Because at least Onana is available for games. Whether we like him or not as a goalkeeper, he's very rarely injured. He's there, regardless of the up and down performances. But a guy that's not been in the trenches with you to get the armband and start running his gums at you, I'm telling you, in no sport, I will respecting that. I will respecting that. No team talk from like, bro, you ain't been available when we needed you. We're playing makeshift defenses because you can't stay fit. But now you're running gums at me because the whole team is playing bad. Not just me, the whole team is playing bad. And this is where I just like, I don't respect it, man.
AFC is coming back here. He goes, but don't fans deserve an open top bus spray? I know if it was Arsenal, we would do it. And I think we would. I think because we're so deprived of trophies, I think we would do it, mate. Do you know what I mean?
And that is a very good point, Craig. But in terms of where we are as a club, I think it would be a little bit embarrassing to do a parade. Just say we finished in the top 6 and we go and win the Europa. Go ahead and do your parade, bro. Well, but what you've given the fans, I'm not sure half the fan base would even show up, no. They'd be like, go on with it.
Six. How many was it? 6. How many wins have you got? 6 wins?
Yeah, it's I'd have to get that.
6 draws and 17. Is it 17 losses? Something like that?
So, yeah, it's about 17 now, isn't it? Now, to be fair to Reuben, and I've said this a few times on the show, he didn't want to come to the summer because he knew. He knew if he came now, he would be the scapegoat. It's very easy to blame the manager, even though, and it's like anything, no. In my telecom days, I took a switch from Croydon Depot to Crayford Depot. Took over a crew of engineers that probably prefer to smoke weed than actually do the job. And as a big D, fix it. So what do? I blame my tools. No, I use my skills to say, right, guys, every day we come in, we got to complete at least 2 of these jobs. So that means less weed and more work. And these were guys of the Caucasian persuasion as well. I'm not even making this up now. This is a fact. Yeah, and my boss was saying, I can't believe you're getting this much work done with this crew. I said, bro, I don't play that. Like, when the work is done, then if you want to skin up a spliff, then boy, don't do it around me. Go do your thing. But until the work is done, I need your head clear. So they realized the big man weren't playing, and we started to get jobs done. Everyone said, what's going on with you and this crew? Nothing's going on. Big man came to town. Big man is angling his business. So, Reuben, you're the big man. You came to town, and we got worse. Explain it.
4 points
off the culture of the club.
4 points off a top 4.
And you see the 4 points, no? We were actually 11th. No, we were actually 12th at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were even at 12th, we were only 4 points off the top 4 at 12. Yeah. That's how tight the league was.
Yeah.
But that 12th position is what got Eric Ten Hag fired. They said, listen, man, you're 12th. Like you're already not competing at 12th. So we got canned. Reuben came in, and I'm going to say he made us worse. The way he wanted to play football made us worse. Now, he actually come out and said, oh, yeah, it's going to be pain before the smiles come back. So straight away, that statement, he wrote off the team with that statement. He put in a fan base on notice to say, listen, guys, you're going to spend your hard-earned money to come to Old Trafford on your 9-to-5 job, but don't look for that nice. You're going to leave wanting to punch the walls and mash up the toilets and all that after every home game. He actually told us that before he signed his contract, or after he just signed his contract, one of his first press conferences, saying, I've seen what I've seen. I don't like what I've seen. Be patient, but you're gonna experience some painful moments. So for me, I'm saying, well, you're not it then, bro. Because what I need you to do is to tweak a system, have these players being effective, and get at least in the top half of the table. And he hasn't done it. Yeah. And so to say tongue in cheek, we're unbeaten in Europe, because we literally are unbeaten in Europe, which is wild. Between wins and draws, we haven't lost. So there's no reason why Tottenham, being a better team, can still lose to Man United being the lesser team in terms of season performance. He'll be a very lucky guy, whether he thinks it or not.
Yeah,
but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he stays, Norm.
Big up, Jeds.
What's up? Big up, man.
Place. He goes, loving the 17th place battle.
But imagine, though, one of those 2 teams will still host a trophy like you, man. Imagine that. That's crazy, isn't it?
AFC's coming back here and saying, just read this one. Goes, Big D, who cares where you are in the league? You win the Europa League, it's another trophy. You have won that's 3 trophies.
3 trophies in 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. As bad as we are, we're getting to finals now.
So would you? What I'm going to say. Question for
Since-
you: Would you prefer winning a trophy or finishing in the top 4 without a trophy?
Now winning the trophy, I'm taking the trophy every season.
Taking a trophy. So you're
Yeah,
taking
because
you're taking trophy over places.
right now we are, because that's the team we are. I think I said this before, Norm. We are.
But
a
would
top
you,
team right now.
even if you was in okay, say you was as bad as you are,
Yeah,
right, and you say finish like say 7th, yeah, but you didn't win a trophy. But so say you finish, but mind you, that's context. Because if you say you finish 7th, 8th, that's you probably deem that as good, because I think you're looking at your season overall, thinking, bro, what a rubbish season. But what you're saying essentially doesn't matter where you finish in the league, as long as you win a trophy, you would be more happy with that.
yeah. Well, it doesn't matter where we. It does matter where we finish in the league. Don't get me wrong on that. But in terms of what the team, how the team is performing, what the team is doing, we're not at the races in terms of consistent Premier League week in, week out. We can go 1-0 down in Europa League and know that we can still win the game. That's not the same in the Premier League. And so that tells you how tough the Premier League is in terms of
yeah,
the way teams defend, the way
when you got West Ham doing the double over you in the first time in a long time, it's like, wow.
I don't think they've ever done it, Norm.
No, they haven't.
Well, okay, I'm going to say they've never done it in the Premier League era. They may have done it before the Premier League when it was just the English Football League. But in the Premier League era, they've never done it. So you have to remember, Eric Ten Hag went back-to-back finals, won them, and got fired. So we're operating like, so Man United winning the trophy means a better season than Arsenal. No, I'm not saying that though. But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that
is it a better season? Is it a better season or a successful season?
No, it's a successful season. I think that's the word there. Better
so it's a play on words.
So if you look at Arsenal, if Arsenal finish 2nd in the Premier League and get to a Champions League, which is harder football, a Champions League semi-final, they've had a better season. But United lifting a Europa League title, which gets them into the Champions League, is successful. Yeah. What's up? 100% Man United have had a better season than us. Well, that's what Craig's saying, and I know why Craig would say it, because Craig wants to. There was a on the overlap where Roy Keane, they had Ruud Gullit on, and Roy Keane was saying, he was at this event with Ruud, and Ruud was asking him about injuries. He said, yeah, I had and he thought it was really weird why you're asking me that. He said, yeah, I had a really bad crucial ligament injury, something else. He said, what about me? He said, Ruud said, yeah, I had side strain, this side and this side, just by hoisting trophies. So he mugged him up like, and so I want to get side strain by watching my team hosting trophies. Yeah,
that's what I want to do, bro. That's what I want to do.
In the long term, I want.
I know there's that whole thing of sustainability, and playing up there in the levels, but I think for me, I'm taking a trophy all day long. Yeah,
because you're starved of it.
There's nothing starved of it, yes, but there's nothing better than the feeling of lifting a trophy, going out on a parade, and that. I mean, look, I asked this question to a certain top gooner, and I said to him, like, he's obviously he likes finishing in league places rather than taking a trophy. So if he finishes out the top 6, top 4, and lifts a trophy, he doesn't deem that as successful, right? Now, I asked him a question about Chelsea, in 2012, and I said to him, 2012, where did Chelsea finish? He had to think about it. He couldn't remember, because places, you don't care about places. It's irrelevant. Yeah. So I said, you know what Chelsea won in that year, didn't you? Yeah. I said that was their first Champions League trophy.
Right.
Under Roberto Di Matteo, mate.
Right. That one season. Maybe it's like a one-season wonder, pretty much.
Yeah, one season. And then the following season, I think he was in it for about 18 months, and the brother said, you got to go now. You got to go. It's time to go. As Claude would say, it's time
after winning the Champions League.
Yeah. So, for me, as Craig said, trophies only matter to Arsenal fans. not Arteta fans. All right, thank you very much. There,
Right.
AFC man.
And this is key. What Craig just said there, because for me, I'm a fan of Manchester United Football Club, not Reuben Amorim, not
Right.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, not whoever. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of the football club.
But
If a manager comes in and stinks up my joint,
we're living in a social age, media age, where unfortunately it's the younger, us older heads. Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah, we watch football with our eyes. These mans are on their lines trolling, doing their TikTok thing and whatever, and saying some outrageous things and singing about this gracious Arteta. Like this guy, this guy can't do no wrong. Yeah. And I'm saying is that at the end of the day, you brought this guy into our club in 2019, won an FA Cup, and we haven't seen anything else apart from
with Unai Emery's team, Norm.
With Unai Emery's team,
who we proceeded to dismantle.
Yeah.
After that,
exactly. Yeah, because we was in a very bad place, according to a lot of fans. We was in a very bad place, and now we go full circle. We got a load of players that are overpaid, that are bang average, right? And now we got to try and get them off our books, okay? And we're sitting there 6 years, coming up to 6 years without winning another trophy. Whereas Man United in that period of time have been into how many finals, and then how many trophies you won at that as well. Yeah, people always say, "Oh, you know, give him what he wants." Well, we've given him enough money. Yeah,
you've given him what he wants, Norm. So this is the thing.
I think Burton will give him. I think Burton will give him what he wants. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but he will also give him a long enough rope as well.
Right. Yeah. So if you look at it, Norm, I think something you said earlier in the stream about 200 million to spend. Now, as you know, the way they do business now, like they normally pay over the release cost so that they can pay the transfer in installments. So, yeah, man, big up yourself, man. So, in terms of 200 million could get you about 5 players now. In terms of installment payments, 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, if Berto's doing it, yes. But if
I think I'm not saying keep him out the loop.
Them don't know how to spend money.
Yeah, I'm not saying keep Arteta out the loop because I didn't know.
He has to be involved, but Berto's the one that's got to go and find these players, obviously to suit, the club and the profile of the club.
Hear me on this narrative, Norm, and this is how I feel about my club. Do I, in the summer, do I spend money on players for Reuben, or do I buy Manchester United players? That regardless of whoever the manager is, he can come in and tweak and work with these players, because I'm of the mindset that we can't keep buying manager players and then firing said managers in year 3, and a new guy comes in and said, these are Reuben's players. I'm now, like I say, I'm a Man United fan over any of these coaches. I'm saying, buy me players for Manchester United Football Club, not for this coach, because he's just shown me that these tools I can't even tweak these tools to be a little bit consistent to win back-to-back games. So why am I going to give him 250 or 300 million in the summer to go buy his players? Because if that project doesn't work, we're left with Reuben players. He's gone. They're still here. And then we bring in a new manager. So, right, now you got to work with Reuben players. They're going to say, nah, I need my young players. And the cycle continues. Start buying players for Arsenal Football Club. And say to Mikel, I've got you 2 strikers. I've got you this. Work with them. Because this is where I think we're lacking coaching them. I don't think our coaches can coach. Hence why everyone.
It's like Mikel Arteta in his in-game management. He's just not there. It's just not there, mate. And what I mean, you're bringing on, you're trying to win a game, and you're bringing on defensive-minded players. That's not the one for me. Bro.
So doesn't that tell you, Norm, that he's not listening to his coach? The only coach he listens to is a set-piece coach. Maybe.
Yeah, and then he's having a little tussle with him and telling him, "Yo, go sit down."
Go sit down, man.
Every minute the camera's panning on him. Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's doing the most already. He's doing the most.
Just sit down, Yova. Sit your bottom down, because you haven't even sorted out right how we can defend with our players in our own box. Yeah, Yeah, against set 48% we've conceded, the most.
From set plays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
from
when was
set
the
plays.
last
I
time we
saw
set a
that.
set piece goal? You know what I mean? So listen,
Yeah.
the
It's
PR,
two ways, isn't it? It's two.
the PR, both our clubs,
Yeah.
both our clubs back in the day, the United goals, brother. Yeah, we used to be at each other. Yeah, when we saw standards, we saw levels. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Man United have hit a rock bottom. They've hit rock bottom. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
man.
You've hit rock bottom, brother. And you're looking at your stats and looking at the worst points tally and whatnot. You probably hit rock bottom. But at the end of the day, we're going into 20 odd years without a Premier League title. Yeah, I don't want to be 9 years later down the road. That's 30 years like Liverpool took to win a Premier League title.
I'm about to say that,
bro. I can't be having that.
And so you look at being consistent over 38 games. It's very hard to do now. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to motivate players to be consistent for those. And you have to remember as well, when the winter months comes, those foreign players don't fancy it in the cold and rain. They don't. You've seen it time and time again. You'd be like, yeah, just play some rugged players because it's just too damp and wet for them. Now, they might be on 200 grand a week, but you as a fan can see, man, it's too cold for him.
Yeah, they don't fancy it. They don't fancy this. Yeah.
He's got his base jersey on over his club shirt with his gloves on. He's wearing leggings and his socks are up to his knees. This man is cold. This man needs to be under his rug, under his quilt, watching the game. Absolutely. And this is the difference where you can be in a cup competition and you can ride your luck. We've seen all our teams ride a luck in the cup competitions. But when it comes to the Premier League, there is no hiding place because now every team's got money. It's not like before where the top six had money and everybody else was trying to play catch up. A team can say, actually, no, I'm keeping my striker. Because you know why? I can afford to keep him. I don't need to sell to you. And they keep their striker. I mean, it's like, is that everyone said, oh yeah, he'll just leave in the summer. Why? If he qualified for Champions League, why would he leave? And they upped his money. He got a pay rise for helping Newcastle to qualify. You think he just walk out the club? I don't know. Maybe. But if I'm playing in the same tournament as you, and I've been a better team in the league, why am I coming to Man United when I've just been better with Newcastle and qualified for the same Champions League if we win the Europa League? I mean, you've got to look at these scenarios. And
I think, the player, listen, these players are not silly. Yeah, you might end up, if you do win it, you will end up in the Champions League. And I don't know if that means that the persons that were in fifth, does that mean that place is jeopardized? I'm not too sure.
No, I think fifth still stays, Norm.
Does it still stay? I don't know. People in the chat,
think so.
Let us know. I'm not too sure. I'm hearing that if somebody wins, obviously if you win it, that fifth place is jeopardized. But I don't know. I might be wrong, or that is just what it is. Because that's an extra.
Right.
Remember, that's an extra team.
Yeah, but there's a term they use. Coefficient.
What's the coefficient points?
Right. So the coefficient points have allowed us to have the team finishing fifth. Right. But this is the thing. I think there was an assumption that United would be in that team or Tottenham would be in that top five. So it wouldn't really matter that a top five team wins Europa League and they're already in top five. Now, does that, like you say, just say that's a Aston Villa or something like that.
That's six English teams.
And I'm not convinced they're going to allow that. I think someone gets pushed down to Europa if United or Tottenham win.
So that's why Europa. That's why the fight now, with the situation now as it is, the fight for that top four, top five now is very interesting, mate.
So it's better to finish fourth.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Well, now it is because the final is guaranteed. It's the Man United Tottenham final.
Exactly.
So you don't want to finish fifth. You want to finish fourth because one of the biggest teams is winning it.
I mean, we failed at the hurdle because we didn't get to the final. So you know what I mean. So we finished. And then, the final. But as I said, according to Arteta, we're the best team in Europe. So that's
But the truth is, there's no reason why Arsenal can't finish second or third. So it's not even gonna.
So he's saying top five. There'll
be six.
That's sure we'll win the six. Okay.
Okay, that's interesting because. But then here's the argument. There's the argument from the statement earlier. So if City win their FA Cup, Liverpool to win the title. I'm gonna say Man United or Tottenham win the. So in them 6, only 3 are actual champions now. But we're not going to talk about that because the narrative doesn't suit that. Liverpool, Premier, City, FA Cup, United or Tottenham, Europa League. So at the 6 in the Champions League, only 3 of the 6 were actual champions. That's what I'm saying. So it's a non-conversation for me. We go out and win it. We're in the Champions League. Everyone else needs to relax. Because the form's always been like that.
Could you just say that one more time? So what's the thing? So
so if what they're saying is correct, and I believe he's done his homework on this, that 6 will qualify because Man United and Tottenham are in the final.
Right.
Liverpool qualify as a champion.
Yeah.
Man City, if they win the FA Cup, qualifies as a champion, and Man United or Tottenham will qualify as a champion of the tournament that they're in. So out the 6, only 3 will be actual champions in the Champions League.
So yeah, but we will be champions.
Out of 6 teams.
Yeah,
champions. Yeah. Arsenal, the bridesmaid champions. Yeah. We're clapping that one, love. This is epic. This fly is epic, man.
That's what we're going to be. We're the bridesmaid champions. That's what we are.
Bridesmaid champions. Yeah, I like
second
that.
place.
No.
I don't even know it's going to be second place FC, right?
No, you remember last week? Unity FC. Your Unity FC champions. That's it, man.
Man City could sign ASC Milan midfielders if I can say Reinders, if that's how you pronounce it, man. Pronunciation, man. They're also looking at well, I don't know Florian Wirtz, but there's a possibility Bayern Munich. He wants to go to Bayern Munich, but I think they're talking to his representatives. So listen, Man City are going to go and do their thing. We need to do our thing. Berta, you need to be doing your thing. You need to get that cheese wire out big time, because we need players in ASAP.
But for us, I've been hearing Brian and Bume.
To who?
That's what I've been hearing to United. I've seen it the last couple of days now. I actually like Brian. He's
a good player. He's a good player. He's a good player. I think,
and obviously this Liam Delap come out chat about if United don't get Champions League. Who are you, bro? Who are you? What are you talking about, man? You just got relegated with Ipswich. You chatting about if United don't get Champions League, you ain't coming. Don't come then, brethren.
Well, the thing is, if you don't, he gets relegated. At least he'll now come to you with you finishing 2 places above the relegation zone anyway.
But no,
you know what I mean.
There was a season, and I'm trying to remember who was the man. It might have been Jose. A season where we did not qualify for Europe.
Yeah, you had players coming.
Pogba and Zlatan in that summer window came to United.
Yeah. So it's not because you've still got to a degree
the pool's still there, bro. The
pool's there, but man, it's
but the performances need to catch up with the pool.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean?
It's very rarely someone's gonna say I don't fancy going to United.
Yeah. I mean,
especially if they get the contract they want and the shirt number they want.
Yeah, but I think what it is though, at the moment, it's not an attractive place to be at the moment. With the stuff that's been going on, yes, players will go, but it's not as attractive as it used to be with the stuff, the off-field stuff that's going on, and just the way you've been playing over the past few years, the changing of managers, and a lot of these players will look at that and go, "Bro, these guys are just turning over managers left, right, centre." That means my future is a little bit unsecure because you've got this new one coming in. You know what I'm saying?
But no, Chelsea have done this for the last.
I know. Well, that model seems to work for them. But that model seems to work for them.
Yeah.
But it's working for them, and they're winning trophies. Trophies. Not over late.
If you look at Chelsea have never had a Wenger or a Ferguson. No. If you think about it, they've never had a long-term manager that's gone over 10 years at a club. So that's not their model. I think because Aston you have had that, because that's what I said about the patience with Arteta. Because Arsenal have not been a let's fire the manager. Like obviously that reaction to Unai Emery was like, the fan base was gruntled, but I'm getting gone. But I said this, if Arteta managed Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich, both of the Milan teams, Juventus, he's gone, bro.
He's gone.
He'd have been gone 2 seasons ago, bro.
if not in the first season.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's the difference where Arsenal are saying they've given him so much grace, it's unbelievable, bro, in my opinion.
He's got too much power.
Well, is that clearly?
I
But
think he's
then
got too much
that's
power. I
and
think
that's
he's
why I
got too
said
much
to
power.
you earlier about your new director of football. That's not his mate.
No.
He's there to do a job, and he's going to say, "I'm not letting Arteta get me fired." Trust me on that. And so it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how that works out between him, because this guy is not going to sit about and let Arteta cherry pick who he wants, and then it fails, and then he gets fired as director of football.
I think what needs to happen is that, as I said, the director of football needs to, just be on the front foot, get the players in that he needs, get them for him, and then, as somebody, I think AFC said it earlier on in the chat, that give him the players that he wants, and if he can't coach these players to win a title and come, in the autumn months and whatever, and we're not doing okay in the league, in our league positions, without a certain competition, cup competitions, then I know my man will be going back. To the owners and say, bro, he ain't the one, bro.
He's going to cover his bases, no? And
yeah, listen, I heard that. Sorry.
That's
the rumors been going around that. Yeah, so I got a text from somebody. I got a DM on my Insta. So that's going to be interesting as well. So we don't know what the situation is.
I hope you ain't done that, Norms. That's wild.
Bro, listen, brother. Yeah, if Arteta's implicated with him, then you need to go with him.
If man been skimming off the purse strings, that would be mad.
Brother. He looked a little bit dodgy with the big cigars and sucking. Was it the big cigars and sucking his daughter's toes? Come on, get out of it. Allegedly. Yeah. But anyway, listen. Look, see, I should be in. I'm meant to be in another meeting. My missus.
What time is it? Oh yeah.
So what I just wanted to do, I just wanted to get your quick thoughts quickly on the booing of Trent. I keep saying Trent Alexander. Yeah, the fans, Liverpool, for 20 years of service. Kofi in the chat. He's won numerous trophies with them. 20 years service. Are the fans right to boo him? You know what I mean? Because when they announced his name, they booed him. When he touched the ball, they booed him. Slot came out and said, "Listen, it's the fans' prerogative. I'm not there to tell them they can't do it or not." Yeah, but it's not very nice. People saying, he's given his all for them. He's given his speech and said, "Look, I've spent." He's very, very emotional about the whole thing. Yeah. He now wants to go and join his mate Jude and make things happen over in Real Madrid.
Normski, did Trent Alexander enter the pitch wearing the red shirt of Liverpool? The answer is yes.
Yes, he did.
So before we came on, when he was warming up, was he running up or down the touchline, giving the fans the middle finger or the two finger salute? No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
So you're booing your player that's coming on the pitch wearing your precious red shirt. Nah, it's an absolute disgrace. 20 years. Now, I've been watching some bits and bobs on it, right? And this is my thought on it. The reason why they're booing him, is probably not even so much as going to Madrid, where there's part of that. But they're saying, over the years, comments that he's made about Liverpool Football Club, and why would he leave the rain, the cold? Yes, he probably goes to holiday on Spain twice or two or three times a year. He fancies a different change. Now, I think the crux of it, and this, I could be wrong on this, I think if Trent had signed a new contract with a release clause of 60 to 70 million, and Real Madrid stomped up the 60 million, then they would say, he was ours. It was ours from academy. We just made 70 million out of him. Yeah, he can sling his up. It's because he's going on a free norm. That's what's irking them. You have to remember, 30 years in the wilderness, this man's won you 2 titles and a Champions League. And you're still booing him. Come on, man. Ungrateful, man. He's allowed to go and experience a different life. He's a sportsman. There's no rule in sports to say that you've got to. That's like me when I left the Midlands and moved to London for work. I'm allowed to fancy something different when I left to go to St. Lucia and to America. for nearly 12 years. I'm allowed to live in a different part of the world and work and enjoy my life. Now, some people would say, oh, well, you know, you left all your family behind in England. Yeah, but they could visit whenever they wanted. We had big houses in Florida and in St. Lucia, so visiting wasn't a problem. But you're coming to a destination where you would go on holiday. But there were still family members on both sides that weren't happy with us.
Right.
We still went. Trent's allowed to go and play for Madrid. When in terms of, they are one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in the world, in terms of what they've done, what they've turned over, the stadium they've built, all these things. 20 years from a kid to a grown man. He's given 20 years of his life, nearly a life sentence, and you're booing the man as he comes on the pitch in a boo him when he comes on in the white shirt of Real Madrid next season if you play them in one of the competitions. But to boo him when he's wearing your Liverpool shirt is an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace, Norm. And maybe he should have sat down with the club and said, okay, let me sign a contract. Oh, no, let me speak with Madrid and say, listen, I think it might be right that Liverpool gets some money for me, even though I've been there for that long. Are you from? No, I'm not from St. Lucia. I lived there for 6.5 years, Jason. We chose it as a base, as my wife ran a English division publishing company, their Caribbean. So that was our base. So we were there for 6.5 years before moving to
Florida,
Fort Lauderdale. I played bear golf in Barbados. That was our little hideout when we wanted to long weekend, fly to Barbados. I bring my club on Mrs. Six on the beach and reads books, and we enjoy life a little bit. So yeah, but yeah, your folks are from Barbados. Good stuff, man. Beautiful island. I would live there permanently.
Sorry, big up Carl Walsh, man. Top gooner. We've been on shows together.
Nice one, Carl. Big up, man.
This guy doesn't mince his words. I'll tell you that.
Is he? Oh yeah.
If you ever get a chance, very straight talking, man. You know what I mean? And you know, he's probably got onto about full TV now.
Oh wow! He's a national TV.
But we say no more, Carl. We say no more, bro. We say no more. But listen, D.
Kofi, I can't agree with that. He's been a great servant, bro. Pinch of salt. That's disrespectful, man. He come on the pitch wearing your shirt and you booed him after 20 years of service and two titles and an FA Cup. Nah, don't do that, Bridgman. Don't do that. Nah, it's not good. And when Beckham left, I'm not booing him. Beckham's been there. I think Beckham came to United when he was 12 or 13 years old, Norm. Stayed for 13 years, went on to Madrid to win it all as well. He's allowed to do that, bro. It's like you work for a company, you get headhunted, they offer you the whip, the villa, the pay rise, and you say, nah, no thanks, I don't fancy living in your country, in another country, and working for the similar company. Like, no, it happens in all walks of life. You can't boo a man that walks on the pitch as a substitute in your jersey. Come on, man. Wait till he walks on that pitch in a Real Madrid, then you can boo him all you like then. And even then, he's been a good servant. So even then, do I boo him? I give him the clap. And then once the game goes, you give him a bit of banter. You let him know that you're no longer in that red shirt, so there is no grace for you on this football pitch. But not when he's wearing a red shirt. Nope. No, I don't agree with that at all. So...
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so let me just listen. We'd love to go on and talk on more, but I've got
to go into now. You got to do your thing, man. That's all good, bro.
So D, I just want you quickly. You're gonna have to run through this. I mean, literally 30 seconds and whatever, because my Liverpool wife is waiting for me to go on another thing, and I've got to make sure I'm on there. You know what I'm saying? I work for an organization, so we're putting on a special team and bank holiday Monday, so. I gotta be in that meeting. You get what I'm saying, man? So just quickly, if you just add this to the stage.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, Del Grady's put his foot on the gas. This is what's up. He's chasing down Simon, and Del can do it. Me, I think I'm like, obviously Harley Ryder is not. We're not counting him, so I'm still in my Champions League spot. But I've been having some absolute nightmares, just picking the wrong captains and all sorts. Malcolm X just dropped a place to 7th, but you know what I mean. She's on for a top 10 finish. She's done really well.
She's not
first season ever.
she's not going to be pleased. She wants to stay in that top 6. So she ain't
Yeah. Oh no, she's still got 2 more games to go. No,
I know. When she watches the playback, she's going to not be pleased. She wanted to finish right in that 6th
and she's
place.
She's literally like 7. No, she's just 9 points behind. It's not even that.
Yeah,
it's not even,
yeah.
Actually, less than 9 points behind. She can make that up. 2 more game weeks to go. Ez has found himself in the top 10. Like, big up Ez. And the ones at the bottom have kind of, they're probably going to stay there. But I think that Del Grady can catch. He's still in a position to catch both Bosman United and Bong Proper Stones Me. So I think it's a three horse race now with those 3, and it's just going to be whoever's got their bench boost to use. You probably want to use it in game week 37 because game week 38 can be a bit of a lottery in who actually going to play. So if you got your bench boost left, then I would suggest you roll that in game week 37 where teams have still got something to play for mathematically at the top, as in terms of qualifying for European football.
Okay,
so that's what I would say, Nobs.
All right, then. Listen, we move from there. And the last thing I just want to quickly just share is the what's going on prediction league table, if I can find that, and that's on. Yeah, let's just quickly share this.
I got that red dot and I had a horrible one the weekend. City messed me up, boy.
Yeah,
it messed me up, City.
I didn't expect that thing.
So vexed. Southampton,
Yeah, so just quickly.
Let's see where we're at.
All right, just quickly. And big up to Carl for following me on Insta. I've just seen him pop up there. So big up to Carl, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you, Carl. Right, so as you can see, people, I'm still top, and I need to maintain that top. And we ain't doing that. That's the only place where Arsenal are going to ever do well on this table, the prediction league table. Kofi's in second on 31 points, and that's just because of my league form. Big D in third on 24 points, Ez on 23 points, Chile on 21, and JP, the Man United, still in 6th and will be taking the challenge. I wonder what that challenge is going to be, that forfeit. Listen, people, start thinking about
JP, man.
What will the forfeit be for the loser? Yeah, we need to have something and think of something. 2 games to go.
Well, he's always said he's not wearing a Liverpool shirt. He's not wearing an Arsenal shirt.
Well, so. we shall see. We shall see. But people, I'm gonna need to run now. Yeah,
no, respect, man.
I really appreciate everybody in the chat. Listen, before you leave, please hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. If you haven't, please do that. I think about 13 away from 600. And then we see that journey taking us to that 1K. So people, thank you so much. Go and subscribe to these people in the chat. Carl Walsh, doing his thing. Shane Gooner, views on sports. We work together, and it's the community. We're building the community. And big up to Static. Big up to Static. Big up. I'm just about to leave the stream. About to close out the stream. You just came in on time. 14 likes. Get those likes up. Get those likes up to 20. Come on, people. Come on, Jason Carr. Big up to you.
Respect, man.
Big up to you, man. Listen, it's been a great show. Chat has been absolutely immense. As Aaron would say, Messi-like, Ronaldo-like, you name it. World-class chat. Yeah, world-class chat. And listen, people, we're going to be out of here. So listen, until the next time,
man. Take care, guys.
See you on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care and God bless.